How's it going out there? Welcome from H2TechVideos. Today we're going to be going over the Galaxy Note 3 for beginners. This is going to be part 4. And this part 4 we're going to go over some of the advanced features of the Note 3. The Note 3 does a lot, so I try to cover a lot of the basic stuff in the first few. And in these I'm going to go over a lot of the fun stuff and a lot of the things that make it very unique. One of them, which is the S Pen, which we have right here. Now pay attention when I pull the pen out here. Watch what happens. It makes a noise and this little window pops up. Okay, these are your air commands. Okay, and so these are commands that work specifically with the pen. So if you don't have the pen, you can't use these features. That's why you don't want to lose this. Okay, now before I go over them, I'm going to actually get rid of that little window and show you how to bring that window back up. So what you're going to do is bring your pen close to your screen, and then you're going to tap this button right here. So we're going to just press, and that's how you bring up your air command window. Okay, you have 5 options in this section, and so first option is Action Memo. And when we tap Action Memo, it brings up a little post-it note. And this is a cool little post-it because it'll allow you to write little notes, whether you're on the lock screen, whether you're in an app, wherever you are. You can bring up this little post-it and you can write quick notes. And you can even interact with the note after you write on it. So right here, it just shows you there's an option up here, which is your link memos to actions button, and it says tap to turn your handwriting into a link to one of many favorite features. Write in a straight line for accurate recognition. So now I'm going to check the box do not show again and press OK, and I'm going to go over how that works. So right now I can take a quick note here. Hello. Okay, but the kind of notes you probably would take are not going to be like, oh hello. It'll be like, oh, let me write down that phone number really quick. Okay, you ready? Yep. 323-853-1212. And so the cool thing is, let's say you've written down this note and you write Jane, which is not how you spell Jane, but don't worry about it. You can now tap this button right here, which is your link to action. And then you can select a specific part of it to action. Or let me actually do this. Let me erase Jane. Better to just have the number there. So we just have the phone number. If we tap the link to action button, press OK, it's going to automatically try to recognize, so it knows it's a phone number. So the cool thing is, if you're on a phone call, you can bring up this little post-it note, you can write down a phone number, and then you could actually hit the call button, and it will throw it right into your phone so you can make a call from that number. And your note still stays on the screen, it just minimizes. So we can just tap the note to make it bigger again. So aside from that, we can tap right there again. Don't show again. You can have it go into a contact as well. So if we tap this icon, it will try to put it right into a contact for us. So look, it already recognizes it's a phone number, and it's already put it in this section right here, and we could change the number to a work or home, and all we have to do is add the person's name that's affiliated with that number and hit save, and that's it. So kind of cool there. Let's open our note up again. Tap the button again. We can also send them a text message by pressing the little envelope right here. See that? It throws the phone number in the message, or in the to box. All you have to do is type your message and it'll send it right out. Tap it again. You also, now this one is for email, so if you wrote down the email address, you can have it put it into an email. This one is to search the web, so if you were to write down a name or a restaurant, this will actually search the web for that. You can also write down an address, and then you can use this one to actually try to pull it up on a map for you. So you could say, oh, what's that address? Oh, here, let me go ahead and write down that address. Okay, and then you would tap that button, and then here, and then it'll show you where it is on a map. And then this one is for a list, just to show you some of the different examples here. Let's say you wanted to write a shopping list: eggs, milk, butter, cheese. I can tap that button there. I can tap the last one, which is the to-do list, and it'll actually take it and put it into my task section in my calendar. This is really cool because how many times you run out of the house and maybe you need to like write down what you want to get at the store. Well, real quick, remember you're just going to tap that little button. So get close to the screen, tap, bring up your air commands, and then you're going to tap Action Memo. You see that? And then you can write down your message. Now this button, as you may have noticed, is your erase. You can erase a little bit, or you can tap it and do a clear all and it'll erase everything on the screen. If we tap this arrow, you have a couple more options too. You have a option that changes the color of the post-it, so you can make it orange or blue or whatever. You can also press this one if you want to minimize it. So if you tap this, the memo is still open, but you can move it around the screen. One of the problems you're going to run into, and I'm going to warn you right now, let's say you're trying to write down a number. Maybe you're on a website and you want to write down the number from the website. Well, this box, you can't really move the box. You know, you can't like grab the side. You can do this. You can like shrink it. If you put the mouse or the pointer right at the bottom where these two lines are, you can shrink the size. Maybe you want to just move the box out the way. There's no real way to do that unless you minimize it and move the note down and then you tap it. And that's how you get it to the bottom of the screen. Now if I tap this and bring it up to the top and then I open it, then my note's going to be up here. So that's how you move that post-it up and down the screen, kind of like that. All right. Now the last thing you can do, let's say you did write again that phone number 853-1212, and then you press the check. It will save the note in your Action Memo section. So if we go home, go to our apps, and you go to Action Memo, that's where you can find that memo, and you can also tap it. You can continue to edit that memo later. So you may write something and may say, oh, I want to take that out. Oh yeah, who was that? That was Joyce. See that? You may want to add, you know, meet at 4:30. And so what I've really started to do is when I'm on a phone call, I'll bring up my Action Memo and I'll write down the notes and then I'll save it so I can go back later. And here's the cool part. So in a previous video, I talked about S Finder. When you hold down your menu button, which is right here, if you hold down, it'll bring up your S Finder and you can search for anything on the phone. You can actually search for things you've written down in your notes or basically on that little post-it in this section. So I could actually type in Joyce and it will find that note. Watch. You ready? And it did not find that note. I may not have written in a good enough penmanship. Let's there it is. Oh, I wonder why it didn't show up at first. Joyce. You do have to watch your penmanship. Let me try putting the phone number in. 1212. And search. So you may have to select handwriting. Yeah, see, that's the only thing about this is you gotta make sure your penmanship, you gotta write as good as you can. Oh, it was set to yesterday. Let's try it now and see if it recognizes Joyce. Let's hit today. Let's just try Joy. For some reason it's not getting it, but in the past when I have searched for things, it has pulled them off of those post-its. So anyway, that feature does work and it has worked for me in the past. I may just not be writing it, you know, in the penmanship. Anyway, that's just kind of just how that works. So, you know, sucks when it doesn't work as nice as I wanted to in the video though. Anyway, we're going to press the button, bring up our air commands again. This next thing is Scrapbook, which I don't use too often, but let's go ahead and tap it just so you can see what it looks like. You can actually draw an arrow draw around an area with the pen to collect it in a scrapbook. Collect a variety of content, including YouTube videos, videos on your device, etc. So we can draw an arrow around that, and it will take it and it'll throw it into your scrapbook. So the cool part is, if you're on Facebook, if you're on a website, you could just do that lasso and it'll put it all into a scrapbook for you. So cool feature, way to kind of grab images really quick. Press it again. We're going to bring up Screen Write. This is really cool because Screen Write will take a picture of your screen and then it'll allow you to make notes on it. So I could come up here to the pen, change the color, and then I could circle this and say, oh, put this right here. And I could say, no, get rid of that 4. Wrong date. You know, this, I want to be up here. So the cool part is it'll let you write out little notes. You can take a picture of your screen and you can write notes. You can also crop. So I could say, I only really want to get these 4 apps right here. See that? And then when I hit this button right here, then it'll only take a picture of that small section of the screen. Then if I go to my gallery, which is apps and gallery, there's my photo right here, and it only took the section that I cropped, which is right there. So Screen Write I use a whole lot, especially again when you're on a website. You could we could, for example, go on the internet. Let's see. We can, let's go to Chrome actually. Accept. Let's go to bestbuy.com. So just to show you, because I want to show you a good example here, we could hit our pen, hit the button on the pen, Screen Write. And then I could circle, hey, you know, your website says I could save this amount of money, right? A lot of times you go to a website, you don't remember where you saw what. Well, take a picture, circle it, and you could hit this button to share the image. You could actually share it right away if you wanted someone to see that, or you could just save it. Or if you hit the X, it'll cancel it and it'll discard what you saved and wrote. So again, just another cool feature of it, being able to take a picture of your screen and be able to write on it. Hit the button again. We now have S Finder, so you can also bring up the S Finder this way or holding the menu. So you kind of have 2 ways to bring that up. The last one, my favorite, is Pen Window. If you hit Pen Window, what you're going to do is you're going to draw a square on your screen, and then you get to bring up a list of these mini apps that will float on the screen but won't take over the whole screen. So for example, I could bring up the calculator, and then I can actually move it around the screen while I still do other things. See that? So I could put it here and say 78 plus 9 equals, bam. And then you can take your mouse and bring it down to the edge, and you can actually make it smaller or bigger. And then you can even press this button to make it large. So cool part about that, you know, you can also bring up a dialer. Square. The dialer is probably the most useful one, because let's say you're on a website and there's a phone number on there and you can't copy the phone number. Well, just bring up your dialer and you could type the number right here, 1-800 da da da. You can hit call and it'll call them right from this section. So another useful thing, being able to kind of bring this up and work with it without having to necessarily go right to the phone. So that is a pen window. Another fun little feature. Now the next feature that's really cool is one of my favorite features, and this is multi-window. This is what lets you run 2 apps at one time. Now the first thing you want to do is you want to swipe down from the top, go all the way over here, and you want to tap multi-window. You want to turn it on. See how it's lit up? That's how we know it's on. Now we're going to swipe up, and we have this little arrow that pops up. We can tap this, and it will bring up a list of all the apps you can use with the multi-view. So you can't use every app that you have, but you can use a select list of apps with multi-view. So for example, I can have the internet. Actually, let's do Google Chrome. I can have Chrome over here, and then I can grab another app. I can also have YouTube. Let's bring YouTube down here. So now I have the internet right here, and I have YouTube down here. So think about it. You could actually watch a video. I could be playing this video down here, and I could still be on the internet browsing. Let's turn the volume down. So this is a really cool feature. You can even turn it sideways as well, and it will work in the landscape. So I can have my YouTube video here, and I could still be on here searching the internet looking for good deals. Let's see what the deal of the day is at Best Buy. Got a little mouse there. Barnes & Noble. Have a camera. See that? The video will continue to play over here while I use the other side to do other things. So this is just a really cool feature of it. You can also tap the center button and you can switch the windows. If I tap this one, see, it'll switch them back and forth. You can do other things, like you can drag something from this side to this side. What does this do? Oh, that lets you bring up, I'm not really sure what that one did, to be honest. And it's not telling us. Or if we hit the X, it will close out that one side, so then the other side can just be the other thing. So that kind of gets you out of having two windows open at once. And then we can just go home to, you know, close it out all together. So this is a really cool feature. Now, just to show you the apps that are available, we have the S Note, which lets you like write out like actual handwritten notes. The Scrapbook, you can have the video player if you have videos on it already. Chrome is the internet. We have Gmail, so you can look at Gmail on one side and the internet on the other. Hangouts is like a text messaging app. There's a lot of apps. Chat on, contacts, email. You can look at your photo gallery. One of the big examples you'll see on the commercials is you'll see the photo gallery up here, and then you'll also see the text messaging at the bottom. And the cool part about this is if you tap the center button and you tap this option right here, which is the third one, I forgot what it's called, it'll let you drag things from this section up here down to here. So for example, tap that. It says drag and drop a paragraph of text or a screenshot of an image into the other window. Hit OK, so I can actually hold down on this picture, hold down it, and I can drag it and put it right into my message like that. That's what you see on the commercials. They do it really fast, so it's hard to really see what they're doing. You can even go back. I can take this picture instead. Oh, let me show you this laptop. Oh, cool. Tap on there. We can again just hold down on it and we drag it right into the message section, and then it just throws it right in there like that. And then you can just hit send and you're done. This also works like if you had, for example, if you had Chrome up here and maybe you want to copy this website right here. So we're going to tap the middle, tap the drag, and then we could hold down on the text. So this is like the web link. And I could copy this right into the text message. Oh, here's the website in case you wanted to check it out too. So it's cool that it lets you, you know, take text like that. I could hold this whole line here. Sorry, tap the button first, then tap that option, hold down. This is actually just going to grab the whole screen actually. So, and it just makes the web link. So another just great feature of the Note is really multitasking. Just to give you another good example, you could have your navigation open at the bottom here, so you can have maps. You could be navigating to a certain address. Let's accept and continue here. And then you could have your Google Music, which for some reason is not on this list. You could have, or this music right here, up here. So while you're navigating to a certain address, you could be choosing the next song to play on the radio. So there's a lot of different uses for this. Another important thing I want to show you is how to find more apps. So if you go all the way down here to the bottom and tap this little arrow right here, you can create special options that are like preset. So you could have like, let me show you real quick. We go to create. What you want to do is I'm going to put the gallery up here, and then I'm going to put my text messages down here, and I want to make this a set option so I can just go to this quickly. I'm going to tap here, and then I'm going to go down to the arrow and go to create, and I want to call this gallery. Let's go pick to text. And now I have that option right here. So let's say if I put something else, let's say if I put this here, if I tap pick to text and just drag it, it'll just put them both right there. It'll just set it up for me. And it didn't. There it is. Okay, so you can make your own preset ones to make it easier for you. Let's go here. We can also go to edit, and you actually have a couple more apps that you can put over there. So maybe you say, I don't really care about the scrapbook. You can drag it over here. You can customize it. So let's say I don't want chat on, I don't want the internet, I don't want music, I don't want my files, I don't want S-Finder, I don't want this. But you may say, oh, I want the calendar to be over here. I want to have the Play Store so I can find apps quickly. I want Polaris so I can type a document if I need to really quick. Or I want to have music over here. So you can kind of move things back and forth depending on which ones you want to have access to quickly. And then if you go to Play Store, it'll actually show you a list of other apps that are compatible with the multi-view. There's not a whole lot yet, but they're adding more every day, so that this feature is going to get even better. But eventually you'll be able to do it with any app, but for now it's a set list of apps. So that's that. One last thing I want to show you is if this is annoying you and you don't want this to be on the side right now, maybe you say I'm not going to use this feature right now. If you hold down on the back arrow, which is normally right here, it'll go away. So hold down and it disappears. So the way you get it back quickly is just hold the arrow again, and then it pops back up. See that? Real simple. So those are two really advanced features I wanted to show you guys. Another fun one is if you are in your email, let's say for example you're in the email app. Now there's two email apps. There's the Gmail app and the email app. This only works in the email app, not the Gmail app. Just FYI there. You can take your mouse and you can hover over. I think I may have turned that feature off. We may have to turn this on actually. Yep, this is an air command. So actually let's do this. Home, menu, settings, and we want to go to device, and actually I'm sorry, controls. Go to air view, and we're going to turn this on. Okay, now if we hold down our home button here and we go back to our email, I can now take the pen and I can hover. See that? I can hover over an email and I can read the body of it, or at least a good amount of it. So watch this. See that? So that's the whole body of that one. Here's the whole body of this one. So you don't necessarily have to open the whole email to see exactly what it's talking about. So this really helps if you just want to look through really quick to see, okay, is this even worth opening, or is this not even a big deal? Sometimes an email is not worth opening. You guys know that, so this just kind of makes that quicker. All right, so last two things I want to show you are quickly how to change your wallpaper. Right now there's just like a blank blue background. So we go menu and set wallpaper, go to home screen. We can go to wallpapers. We have a list of some preset ones that come with it. I'm going to change it to the wacky. Let's do the green here. And tap set wallpaper. Now it changes to that. You can also download other apps that will let you change the background. Also, if we go here again, set wallpaper, home screen, you can go to your gallery and you can make any one of your pictures the background. All my pictures suck, so I'm not going to make any of these my background, but basically you would just tap that picture and then that would become your background. I don't want that to be the background, so I'm going to cancel it, but if you wanted it, you could just hit done and that would change it. And there was one other thing that I wanted to show. This was one thing as well. So I didn't get rid of this bar in one of the previous videos because this is actually a really useful feature if you decide to use it. It's a shortcut obviously to Google search, but it also does one other cool thing. You can actually search Google just with your voice. So for example, I could tap the microphone. Next Laker game.
And the Lakers are playing the Heat today at 2 p.m.
See that? So you can just use that really easy to do a quick Google search. So you may not want to get rid of that bar right away. The cool thing too is I believe on this screen if you say OK Google, it'll start listening again. So let's X this out. And OK Google. I think you actually need to do I need to do a software update to get that extra feature. But if not, tap the microphone. Next Clippers game. See, this app is really intuitive, so it really...
The Clippers are playing the Warriors today at 7:30 p.m.
It'll really read your voice nice and quick. I haven't had a lot of problems with this. In fact, this search is even better than S Voice, just FYI. The last thing I wanted to show you was something you may have noticed that keeps happening to you when you do any type of swiping motion from the home button. This might happen to you. You might bring up what's called My Magazine. It can be a little annoying, so I want to show you how to turn this off in the event that you don't want this to pop up. Now, let me explain first what My Magazine is. It's a cool news app. We're going to go next here. You do have to kind of go into the app first. So we're going to just agree, start. So there's an update. I'm not going to do the update right now. This is a cool app that will allow you to like keep up to date with news, sports. I guess I have to update it. Darn. This is a cool app that keeps you updated with news and sports. Basically all type of news. Just keep it simple. And then you can also link it with your Facebook or your Twitter. You can get Twitter and Facebook updates like what your friends are doing or their posts all from here. So that's kind of what it is. I don't use it too often, but for a lot of people they do like it. So, you know, the way you activate it is literally by just swiping up from the home button. You see that? Now, I'm sure many of you have done it by accident and you're like, oh, this is so annoying. Well, let me show you how to turn it off. So, once you're in the app, if you go to menu and you go to settings, if you tap, so right now it's set open using the home key. Open My Magazine by pressing the home key when you're on the home screen. So, if we uncheck this, so now, when you do go home and hit the home key, it won't launch My Magazine. The only way it will launch it is if you swipe up. Whereas if you did have this checked, here's what would happen. When you're home, if you were to hit the home button, then it would take you to that app. So when you uncheck it, it makes it less annoying. It'll only come up now if you do swipe from the top like that. Alright, so anyway, this has been the Galaxy Note for beginners, Galaxy Note 3 for beginners, part 4. There's one more part of this series. It has been a long series, but in an effort to try to show you guys enough to really be able to have fun with your phone, this is what it was all about. So part 5 is going to be about app recommendations. I'm going to go over just some of my favorite apps that I use for the Note 3. So anyway, I hope you guys found this video helpful. Make sure you like, favorite, and share the video if you did find it helpful. Subscribe to H2TechVideos and have a good one.